In this video, I'm going to break down the appointment engine, which is one of the core marketing funnels you should have as a video agency owner if you're looking to scale to 50 to 100K plus per month. I'm going to break down every component of it, show you how it works, and give you some tips and tricks on what you can do after this video. So make sure you stick around to the end. And hey, if you haven't hit that subscribe button just yet, hit that right now because we bring out videos like this every single week. So let's jump into it. So the appointment engine or appointment funnel is a very simple two-step funnel. We have on the left here, we have what's called an opt-in page. And this is where, for some people, you can put a VSL. The VSL essentially is a video sales letter, but essentially there's a video that sits here, there's a calendar here, and the goal of this funnel is to sell people into booking a call. It's not to sell you on your amazing system or how good your quality of videos are. The whole goal is to sell them on booking in a call. There is a more advanced version of this, which we call a VSL funnel or an application funnel, which is basically another step above this. And this is where for most video business owners who are sitting at that 10, 20, 30K month mark, starting with an appointment engine first is the first version of your marketing system you should have in place. If you don't have one of these in place, this is the first thing you should do. Essentially think of this like your website, but there's just one core thing that they do, right? Not multiple tabs that they can go check out your portfolio, learn about you. The whole goal of this is to get them to book in a call. The reason we have two steps here is the first step is they book in, and the second step is they land on a thank you page. And this is something I learned years ago when it came to marketing funnels and getting attention, is when people come through your marketing, you don't want to give them just a bunch of shit to look at. You want to give them a clear next step. Give them clarity on what they need to focus on. Give them clarity on what is important for them to make a buying decision. And this is where when people land on page 2, the whole goal of page 2 is to have a couple of videos that do a couple of key things. The first thing is congratulate them on booking a call. Tell them to show up to the call, but also go, hey, here's some case studies or some examples of our work below to check out before the call. Think of it like giving them homework. This is what we do in our business, this is what our clients do, is to have a video here that tells their prospects what to do. It's terrible when you jump on a call and the person hasn't even looked at any of your stuff. They haven't even checked out your brand, because then there's this distrust that they don't have you. The goal of this second page is to build trust. And again, if you do this right, in most cases, when someone comes through the appointment engine, they should have built some sort of level of trust to even book in a call, because booking in a call has a level of risk that people don't want to be sold to. And this is where the first call that's actually attached to this is not a sales call. And this is where I won't go too in depth about the breakdown of these, but essentially when they show up to the call, there should be a sequence of emails. Again, you can use something like Calendly. We give our clients done for you version of the system. We actually just install it into their business. If you're interested about that, there should be a link down below to have a look into how you can work with this. But essentially what this is you have a sequence of emails that come through. There's an email that comes through, confirms their call, that sends them to. All of this is automated. And then there's some nurture emails that come through to them, right? This here is all to sell people on the next stage, which is the 15-minute call. And this call is not a sales call. This is not where you're selling them. And this is where you think about whenever you book in to go to the doctors or the dentist, this is called a triage call, right? It's the whole purpose of that is to qualify the prospect to see if or not you can help them. And if you can, you then position them as next call. And as you start scaling your video business, someone else actually does this call. In my team, we have a person who does this, right? Had for many years. And the whole goal of this is to figure out, is this person qualified or are they not qualified? Because if they're not qualified, presenting someone an offer they can't afford, or they're not qualified, or they're not even interested, is a waste of your time. And this is where if you have ever had people say no to you on a sales call, or you feel reluctant of like doing conversations or talking to people around your products and services, it's usually because you've had people who've said no or they've rejected you. If you want to get less rejection, you need to start rejecting people. And this is a big shift that a lot of our clients take when they start working with this, is they go away from like trying to pitch everyone and say, hey, here's a quote for every person, is they only present an offer to the right person. And this is where you don't actually have to have a lot of calls to make a lot of sales, is because if you're presenting to the right people and taking them through a filtering process, you filter out the people you can't help. And there's a set of questions that we teach using our 15-minute triage script framework inside our mastermind that helps our clients understand what to say at the stage. And to give you like a 30-second overview of what to say in this stage, the first part of this is all about setting the stage. The second part is all about them telling you about the business. The third part is widening the gap, which is figuring out what the problems are, right? The fourth step is actually figuring out what's missing or broken. So are they missing VSL? Are they missing case studies, social media, brand awareness, like whatever the problem is. The fifth stage is like, do they need it right now? So checking in, is this something you really want to do? The sixth stage is like a sooner or later, right? And then problem check-ins, you recap all the things you cover off in here. This is done in 15 minutes, and it's a quick framework that we use with our clients. Very simple to follow. At the end of it, they're not a good fit. You say, hey, you're not a good fit, or you book them in for the strategy call. And this part here is where I see most clients basically muck it up, is because they don't have their client coming properly through the system. They usually book in the call like 6 months in, and out of they don't book in the next call properly, right? So this is where having a framework here, and this is just a quick overview of this. We have another training on our channel that talks more about this in depth, but this gives your clients and prospects a clear, hey, this is what this is all about. Now, what makes this one work really well, again, is not the actual script or the funnel, it's how you set the stage. You don't go, hey, this is me gonna sell you something. You at the start of this, you go, hey, on this call, the purpose of this call is to figure out if or not we can help you. If we can, we'll book you in for another call afterwards. And again, this is just a quick overview, but that is the point of the 15-minute call. If we zoom back out, if they're qualified, they move on to the next stage. And this stage here, this is actually a stage that's in between the strategy call, which is the next call after this, which is in around about 2 to 5 days from the 15-minute call. This is where you send the client conversion system. Now, the client conversion system has two key components in it. And this is where, when we first developed this system for our clients, it was a game changer for increasing trust, increasing sales to complete strangers. You know, when you get referrals or people that come through that are referred from a friend and then just go, yeah, I'm ready to work with you because so-and-so said you're amazing. This is what this client conversion system does. It's a system that you don't actually see. It's not running ads to it. This is not like a funnel that you drive traffic to. This is just two landing pages that get sent to a prospect between the two calls, right? And essentially, there is a hype email that sends this. The first part of this is what we call a scorecard funnel. This scorecard funnel is basically taking people through, and let's see if I can click on this and take you into a client's example. This is the landing page for a scorecard funnel. It's literally a worksheet that gives prospects a little bit of an action task. It doesn't have to be a worksheet digitally. It could be a scorecard that you actually get them to go through. This is the scorecard. This is an example of what it looks like for our clients. And again, this is just an example, but the scorecard, the whole purpose of this is to ask them questions. So they will go through and do a little chart. What's this out of 10, blah, 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 ticket. And then they go through to the last part where they have their number out of 50. And what this helps them do is gives them a clear understanding of what's missing. This here alone, this part of this funnel helps a prospect know and understand that you are the expert, the authority in the space. It changes the game. Just installing this, and when we started doing this with clients a bit over 2 years ago, their call rate to getting people to show up ready to buy changed dramatically, right? Huge shift. The second part of this is the case study, and case studies is pretty self-explanatory. Testimonials, results, people want to see and trust you. This whole focus of these two things here is to build trust, right? That is the whole focus of this part of this marketing funnel, okay? Before you do the 45-minute call, your prospect should come to a 45-minute strategy call pre-sold, wanting to work with you, knowing that you're the expert that they want to trust. This is where the strategy call is pretty simple. You don't even need to be good at sales. This is when you do this right, people are going to go, yes, I want to work with you. I love what this is all about. What's next? How do I buy? How do I get started? And this is when sales becomes really easy. So if you suck at sales, this whole starting point of this system over here solves a big component of that, right? So strategy call, what happens on it? Well, essentially, if a prospect is a good fit, we take them through a script, which is a script framework here. And then you take them through an offer doc that looks something like this. This is actually a current client's one. It may or may not load up. Doesn't look like it's going to load up for this example. Maybe not. Let's go back. Essentially, you have an offer doc that you go through. Can't really go for the examples not working at the moment, but you go for an offer doc that presents the offer. So you might present your content system or your video funnel, your marketing system, whatever it is, your package that you present to them, and you're going to present them on that call. That is the whole focus for this. After the call, if someone's, doesn't sign up, there's two things that happen. This part here, this is the stuff that's kind of after this whole process. This is the cool thing that we teach inside our mastermind, which is a little bit of a sneak peek of what this is. But essentially when someone signs up, instead of going through and sending them an invoice, sending them a contract, there should be an automated system that takes payment, sends their contract, onboards them, and creates all the projects for you in the back end. This system here that we've built out does exactly that. So essentially if someone signs up, they'll go to our core payment funnel. Now, in this example, this client's here. Let's go see if we can check it out and let's load it up. This is what they look like. So 2-hour content system, they put their payment details in, they can choose their packages here, they can choose any add-ons. Specifically for this client's offer here, they can choose their add-ons, they can add it in, has a bit about their brand, frequently asked questions, and it takes payment. This is a 2-step funnel. So there's 2 steps here. Once they've hit the thank you page, they'll go to the next page. And this is where I was talking about automating the onboarding. Now, automating the onboarding, there's an onboarding funnel. So every new client that comes in, comes through, they get a welcome video, they have an onboarding form that they fill in, which you get all their details, which we use JotForm here. There's a client agreement form that gets signed automatically, and then they book in their kickoff call. And this here saves so much time. This saves so many hours. It also gives your clients this red carpet experience as they sign up. And again, we're just talking from one funnel to the next funnel. These are all different components, but linked together, this becomes your new client sales process. So when a new client comes through, they come through this onboarding process. There is some fancy stuff, and again, I'm not going to go too deep into automations in this video, but I just want to talk about the overview. Automations then happen on the back end. You have Zapier, and then there's NAN, which is like an AI research agent that we give our clients that basically does the research from the answers that clients give in the job form. On the back end, you have all the projects that get created. Then Monday is created with a client board, and then you have Slack. So we teach our clients to use Monday. It's just our recommendation. You could use Notion, you could use ClickUp. It doesn't really matter as long as you use some sort of project management system. All of this component here, again, is automated, right? After that, 7 days, you'll have some sort of client call. And this is where you have a kickoff call. Then depending on your content system, we usually recommend shooting a 1 or 2 day shoot within the first 30 days with a client, edit post-production within 14 days. And then within 30 days of a client signing, this is your target, which is finishing off the project, whatever it is, within 30 days. Pretty cool rule standard. From there, again, this is just an example. A back-end content system would be in place. I'm not going to go too in depth about that right now because that's more getting into content strategy and stuff like that. Just want to talk about the funnels so you can see on the back end. When we look at this from a whole process, you can see that every step along the way, there's different systems with the appointment engine, 15-minute call, the client conversion system, the permission-based strategy call, the payment funnel, and the new client onboarding funnel. These funnels and systems here is the things you need in place when you're looking to scale. If you're at $10,000 per month right now, do you go install all these? No. But the core one that I would start with would be this appointment engine. This will save you a lot of time and it'll help you build the confidence in your sales process. And then the rest of it's going to come as you start to build this. And this is where, when we do this and I review clients' calls every now and then, we can find where the drop off is with prospects along this journey. Because if people are not showing up to your 15-minute call, that's a trigger point. If they're not showing up to the 45-minute call, there's a trigger point. If they're not signing up after the 45-minute call, that's where a blockage is. And this is where we can find where the constraint is. And because we have a system and we can dial this in, we've coached hundreds of video businesses building this system. We know which part usually breaks. In most cases, the system works from the starting point, but along the way, you're going to have some breakages in the sales, which you gain skills. And again, we go into more trainings on our YouTube channel about the sales process in other videos. So that's it for this video. If you got value from this video, or if you wanted to see us posting more videos breaking down a bit more candid around how to build funnels and showing you like the map of how it all works, comment down below what you'd like to learn more about. And hey, we might do a future video breaking down what that is. But until the next video, make sure you hit that subscribe button as we bring out videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next one.